In this video we look at the Yanmar heat exchanger and exhaust elbow, cleaning and checking, and many thanks to Ryan and Brittany on Sailing Sunday for some of this footage. These engines are available in both a sail drive version and also a shaft drive version. So let's crack on with it. So as always, we recommend that you know your engine and that you have the right operations manual for it, but also that you have a parts catalogue. It can be really handy when working out how things go together. Okay, let's dive in at the beginning. Now, not all cooling systems are the same, but basically they work in the same way. Let's explain. Water will enter the system through a through hole and a valve, or through a drive leg and a valve. Most boats will look something like this. The seawater, or raw water, will then be drawn up into a seawater filter, something like this. It's important to remember at this point the seawater is being drawn or sucked into the pump. The seawater pump can be gear driven, belt driven, or in some cases even electrically driven, and they look something like this. The location of your seawater pump can vary depending on your engine. Some are on the front, some are on the back, and some are even on the top. Wherever your seawater pump is located, it's important that it has an anti-siphon valve. In most cases, that will look something like this. From the pump, water will be pushed through the inner core of your heat exchanger, and that will look something like this. Raw water or salt water goes through the inner cores, and the outer jacket has the engine coolant around it. Hot coolant from the engine is pumped by the coolant pump into the heat exchanger. This is cooled by the salt water in the inner matrix and then returns back to the engine cooler. Coolant pump on some engines is called the circulation pump, and there's also a thermostat in this circuit which controls the flow of coolant. It's this exchange between the coolant and the salt water which gives the heat exchanger its name. The now hot seawater is pushed into the exhaust elbow. We've done a couple of other videos where we covered the problems around exhaust elbows and the water injection. I'll put a link in the description. So on the Yanmar, one of the drainage points is actually the seawater pump. By removing the face of the seawater pump, you can drain the seawater from the heat exchanger. Now, the heat exchanger is located on the top of the engine, and that's where the coolant reservoir is also. On the Yanmar, the actual coolant reservoir is the heat exchanger itself, and it's filled through the cap on the top. So to gain access to the heat exchanger, you'll have to remove the front faceplate, and you'll also have to remove the rear faceplate. That's located here. But before you do that, of course, you're going to have to drain down the system. The Yanmar manuals are actually very good, and the exploded drawings inside the parts catalogues are fantastic. They give you a good idea of where things are. For example, this is the heat exchanger, shown with all its spare parts in the catalogue. So first you're going to need to drain down the coolant, and the coolant drain cocks are located in these positions here. I've zoomed in and highlighted them for you so that you can see them better. And here's the same one but taken from a different angle. Again, on the other side of the engine, it's located there, and that's a different view. Now, you also need to drain down your seawater. Again, the Yanmar manual is very good and clear at identifying these, but we've highlighted them for you here. Now, when removing salt water and coolant, we recommend something like this. This is a shop vac that can be used on water or coolant to suck it from the system. And don't forget, if you've got a clarifier or boiler, that the coolant around the engine will also be in the boiler. And this too will need to be changed if you're doing a full coolant change. While there's no seawater in the engine, we suggest that you clean out the seawater hoses, and these are quite difficult to track, but just follow the flow of the seawater and you'll see here they go. This includes the seawater pipe from the heat exchanger to the exhaust elbow. these quite often can be a problem. I'll let Ryan explain how he did it.
So the exhaust turbo still got like it's obviously not clean, but it's like it's obviously not clean, but it's not clogged. Okay, so I've cleaned it all out. Oh. Can't get in there, so I cleaned it all out in there. There's a couple of little small pitting, but I think that's pretty normal, but it's nothing major at all. So that's what it's like, all cleaned out. It wasn't really that dirty to begin with. There we go, look in there. So there's a few little bits of pitting in there, but it's actually, they're really small. That's the weld there. The weld's all looking pretty good.
So once you've taken the exhaust elbow out, it gives you better access to the rear of the heat exchanger to remove the end caps. On the turbo engines, if you want to completely remove the heat exchanger matrix, you're going to have to remove the turbo to do so. But it isn't actually necessary. On the front end cap, in order to get better access, you're going to have to remove the alternator bracket, which is behind this cover plate. So you'll have to remove the cover plate and the alternator bracket. Both of the bronze end caps to the heat exchanger are secured with 3 hex head M8 bolts. Once the hoses are removed, these are actually quite easy to get at, but they may be quite tight. Again, I'll let Ryan explain.
And then I'm going to take, there should be 3 Allen key bolts on this side of the heat exchanger. So I'll take this off, and then we'll try and take the actual big thing out of the heat exchanger. We'll take that out so we can take it out and clean it all, and then we'll put it all back together. This off here, we're just taking the gasket off. So this is the heat exchanger that we pulled off. So we're just checking to see how clean it is. Is that clean to you, or is that?
No, but it's not too bad.
It's not too
much worse. This blocking is not good. It's not disastrous yet, but
this is why you do it.
That's why you do it. You maintain it, because if that's 1,000 hours, you can imagine it in 3,000 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna keep plodding along here, pulling the engine apart. So this is the heat exchanger. We're going to clean this out now, and
calcium or less.
And I think where this has been put on originally, we've got the gasket wasn't on properly. We haven't had any leaks though, which is good. But
yeah, it's odd. These gaskets, as they get hot, when you pull them off, you do see like here it does warp, it does deform, but
that looks like it's been.
That looks to me like it's always been like, because that sits perfectly.
It does, isn't it?
In that way. So that's probably always been like that, and it's just probably just way sheer compression and maybe an initial leak and the salt's blocked up where what the gasket should be holding. So that's a good thing it's been checked.
So that's all clogged up there, but like Matt said, he goes that it's not bad, but it's not good. He said that this is why you pull it apart. He goes, just pull it apart, give it a quick clean and put it back in again, and Bob's your uncle. But we'll probably end up giving this a full proper acid wash, because I just want it to be clean. I don't know, like why go to this much work and just give it a quick clean when you can do a proper clean. But I'm not very good at mechanics, so I just kind of want everything to be perfect all the time, because I just know I'm not good at mechanics. So anyway, the turbo he said is nice and clean. That was good. The exhaust,
as the turbo didn't need to come off for cleaning, Ryan decided to clean the heat exchanger matrix in situ. Now, there's a couple of things you can use: pipe brushes, 5mm threaded rod, and use a shop vac here as well. It makes things a lot easier to do. Any calcium that you knock out from inside the tubes can simply be vacuumed away. So, a piece of threaded rod, dedicated pipe brushes, and a shop vac. All cleaned out, and you just got the end caps to go on now. That little peg behind there has got a line up. This one here. New O-rings. Same on the front.
Okay, I'll be a sec.
There we go.
You can just yell goodbye.
Goodbye. Clean these out. I used to clean the exhaust elbow out, I just used some diesel. And then I think it's called muriatic acid or something, or muriatic acid or whatever, I used to clean these up. So I cleaned all the stuff off there.
Cleaning the end caps with muriatic acid Really does bring them up like new, and it doesn't damage the paintwork either. Once the hoses have been cleaned and put back on, it's time to think about replacing the coolant. So again, the Yanmar manual is very good and very specific about what type of coolant should be used in the engine. And if you can't remember where your hoses go, then the parts catalogue gives an illustration of all of the hoses, including those for what Yanmar call the air cooler. Once Ryan's hoses were back on, he flushed the system with distilled water and then put everything back together ready for a trial run.
No, so I already did it.
Is it? And how's the belt now? Let's have a look at that. No, that's better. That's much better.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now tighten these up. So these ones. They're smaller. So that's how you want it, eh?
Yeah.
So they say you turn it 9 degrees.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in turning them.
Okay,
because you can, with these toothed belts, what you can actually do is you can split the belt.
Okay.
So I tend to just touch it with your finger and just light finger pressure. You shouldn't, you know, that's just light finger pressure. You want to be moving 10 to 12 mil on the longest side, and yeah.
And why was it just too tight? It just wears out quicker.
Well, it will wear out quicker, but potentially the cooling pump, which is the one to your left of your hand, the coolant pump and the alternator have got bearings in them.
Yeah.
So you can run the bearings out.
Okay. Now this creates a bit of dust, as you can see here.
Yeah.
I've obviously wiped that, but
just clean it out with a dry paintbrush every now and then, and a Hoover vacuum cleaner. The other thing you can think about at some point is to change to serpentine belts.
yeah, I've actually got one of them.
Have you?
Yeah.
They are much more efficient. Much more efficient. Let's move the.
I don't want to over tighten that, but should I be doing that really tight or?
Just pinch it up. Quite.
Yeah.
That's plenty, mate.
Yeah.
And then you've tightened the one on the water pump, so that's it now.
Yeah, the water pump's all good. The hoses are connected. Now the other thing I did on the water pump, obviously, is you'll see in my video, Sailing Sunday YouTube, like subscribe. You'll see in my video, I asked Brittany to turn. Oh wait, no, we're not going to say that. So I was going to say, Ant's come to do the final check, and I've just dobbed myself in now because I've already started it when this was loose. But anyway, no, because I flushed the coolant through for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and
sorry,
and then there was your alternator belt, which was wanted doing.
So so when I ran the engine coolant through when I started it and everything, what were we talking about? Seacock. Yeah. I was about to start. So hold on, Brittany. I turned the seacock back open again, and I hadn't. It was closed still. So basically, what I did was I turned the seacock off, and then I just filled up the strainer with water, and then I put the lid on the strainer, so then obviously it creates that vacuum, and then I open the seacock up again. Because if I just open the seacock up and put water in, it'll just keep draining out to water level. Yeah. And the pump won't be enough to. Or will the pump be enough to punch it through?
It is, but you got to remember the pump's only running with a bit of fairy liquid around it.
That's right. Yeah. So because it took me a bit to fill up, because I had to fill up you had to fill through all
that pipe work, all through the oil cooler and all the rest of it. So it's always best to prime them. And
everything's good. There was no oil leak anywhere, which I don't know if that's normal or not. But there's no oil leak on this one, thank God.
Nice.
But I change them every 200. Oh, did I tell you? This is something actually that your viewers might find interesting. So I've got the sun in my face. I can see my trying. So I got a Johnson pump impeller and I got an Anchor impeller. The Johnson pump impeller I changed at 200 hours. Still looked brand new. The Anchor impeller that we changed. Remember it didn't look as new. I was a bit shocked. I was like, oh, this hasn't done many hours, has it? How many did I say it's done?
About 150, I think.
Yeah, that rings a bell. 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a lot worse for wear than the Johnson one at 200 hours. 5 mil, 100 mil, 155 mil. So 150 mil.
So, new bearing puller and a new torque wrench.
This is kind of my new stuff I've got online lately. I haven't put it away yet. Got this here, which is my Dremel. I'm getting ready for when we lift out this to mix up my paint, because I borrowed one off Rick and Lou last time. My toilet hinges broke. Yeah, so I got them. And this came in today from Swage Lock. My little fitting. This is what I was going to show before. They actually ended up sending this to me for free because they took months to sort it out for me. But this little fitting, we're going to try and charge me like $200 for. So they're my cutlass bearings.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them because I wanted one to place now, and then if we ever say somewhere in, because we're going to Suriname this year, or next year, end of the year, we're going to Suriname, and I figured Suriname probably doesn't have a chandlery there. No. So if I run over a fishing net in French Guiana or Suriname, I've got a spare cutlass bearing. And I'm going to polish the boat this year because it looks disgusting. So I've got my different things to polish the boat.
You're getting all kitted out, mate.
I am, yeah. Okay, Jackson, move back. Go on, buddy. The water pump.
Oh.
Yeah, see, Ann? So you haven't
different shirt on.
who you're recording?
yeah, consistency. What's it called?
See, Ann? So you haven't come back like a week later to record this.
What's it called?
Heat exchanger.
No, what's it
Water
called?
pump.
It's consistent.
The dick?
Inconsistent.
Continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah, but I've got a different shirt on.
That's okay.
They wouldn't have noticed, Steve. Go on then, mate. Contact.
Safe with the cat.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Bang!
Oh, you scared me!
Battery's too low. Your battery's too low.
Did it start?
No.
No.
I'm just kidding, I'm ready.
He's a bugger, isn't he?
Hi everyone.
Well, it's Sunday evening.
We're running a bit late.
We're running a bit late. Yeah, exactly.
We've hired a car for the week with Dean and Linda from TZ, and we've been out all day, dotting around Sicily.
And as you can see, we're just putting together the final edit of the video that you've just watched. Patrons, it's Sunday the 21st of February. It's 7 o'clock in the evening. Hopefully I can get this finished and it will get out to you within the next hour.
Yeah.
Next hour. And then subscribers on YouTube, you'll see it in a week's time. So, the video that we've did last week, which has just gone live on YouTube this evening, was a good success. The hooker video, people have enjoyed that, got lots of comments, and we did a premiere where we were able to talk live to people. So yeah, that's been good. With the hooker video, we're going to do another one. We're going to show you how to use it, how to clear your mask, how to do the excursion manoeuvre to clear your ears, stop the pressure affecting your eardrums, etc. And we'll do that as soon as the water warms up, won't we?
Because you're a wimp.
Because I'm a wimp. It's too cold. 15 degrees. It's too cold. Hello to our new Patreon. I'm not going to mention your name for the moment until we've spoken to you as to whether you want to remain anonymous or be named. Getting back to this video, Ryan and Brittany, hi. Thanks for your hard work and collaboration in making this video. Ryan, you just crack me up. Your sense of humour just cracks us up, and you see from the outtakes in this one, we had a real blast at doing it, didn't we? It was fun, and there was quite a few bits I had to cut out, mind.
Oh, I wonder what they were.
So we'll put a link to Sailing Sunday, Ryan and Brittany, in the description below. Go and check out their channel. They're absolutely great, aren't they? And they do a lot of work with animals, which is commendable. You know, we're animal lovers, so go and check out their channel. That's just about it, I think, isn't it?
It is, if you want to get this video out tonight.
It is, if I want to get this video out. Patrons, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
We know we say it every video, but without you guys, we simply wouldn't make videos. That's it, I think, isn't it?
It sure is.
Hope this video has been useful to you. It's the second one we've done on Yanmar engines, and as I say, thanks to Ryan and Brittany for their collaborative work.
And Steve.
Oh, and Steve on Dusk.
Sailing Dusk.
Yeah, he popped round earlier actually and said, "I've just watched your hooker video live." Okay, guys, we need to get on, get this uploaded, we'll get it edited, get it uploaded, and we'll see you very soon. So,
Take care.
Take
Stay
care.
safe.
Stay safe, sail safe, dive safe. That's it.
That's it.